What's good?
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just getting situated over here.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. You got to get the setup right. You got the framing cool. You got the records in the back. We approve. We think you're doing good. Good so far.
No doubt.
So, what's up? Where are you? Are you in Brooklyn? Are you in New York?
Brooklyn, New York. Yes, sir. Yeah.
And obviously, I knew that you rep Brooklyn. Are you from Brooklyn originally?
I'm not. I'm from Boston, actually, originally, and I've lived in Queens for a long time, and Brooklyn for a long time. So, and LA.
Yeah.
I was out in LA for a couple of years as well.
All the great spots. Yeah, we're out in LA here. Shout out to Boston. We had a 7L on the show not too long ago, and got a few other key figures from all those cities. Dart Adams is another Bostonian that comes to mind. So, welcome. We're happy to have you here.
I appreciate it, man. Definitely.
Yeah. What has your 2021 been like? We're in the second month now. I think we can all agree that January didn't count. Like January was like the leftovers, the B-sides from 2020. But now it kind of feels like maybe we're in a better zone, maybe?
I think so. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm definitely feeling optimistic. I'm sorry about that green screen that fell on your head. But, other than that, I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. I think, I'm going to put out a lot of music. I just think hopefully vaccine stuff will happen, and we'll see. We'll see.
I appreciate you addressing the green screen falling on my head and saying, other than that, I think the year is going to be pretty good. Completely brushing over the insurrection, like a bunch of crazy shit.
We're in the moment. We're living in the moment, Sean.
We are.
So
we can't look behind us, although I will be looking behind me several times to make sure that it's not. Right, actually, I'm going to count on you to tell me if you see it like starting to, come down.
I'll keep an eye on it. No doubt.
Appreciate that. So, this is a hip hop game show. It's also, sort of a celebration of your career, the things you've done, and also your relationship to hip hop as a fan. So, this is like a conversation. It's a game. I think you may have seen some of the clips before of the show. But I want to let you know before we dive into this, we sort of have two schools of thought with our guests. We have some guests who will lean on the chat if they don't know the answer. That's sort of like their lifeline. And then there are other guests that we've had who say, no, fuck that. I'm doing this on my own. If I can't, do a solo dolo, I don't want help. So we don't judge you either way. We're not judging you on a scale, but I want you to know that the option is there.
Okay.
Yeah. If you guys have questions for DJ Skizz as well, drop them in the little question box. If we have time at the end, we might do a little Q&A. So are you ready to get this thing started? You ready to do this?
Do it.
All right. Here we go. DJ Skizz is in the house. We're going to hop into round one of the show. The round is called The Choice Is Yours. This is our general multiple choice round. So let's get into it. Here we go.
Okay.
This rapper penned a cookbook inspired by his diet while serving time in prison. Was it DMX, Prodigy, Tupac, or Beanie Siegel?
That would be B, my man Prodigy.
He says Prodigy.
Yeah.
And that is correct. The Commissary Kitchen book that he wrote with former guest of the show, Kathy Iandoli, which was sort of like a prison memoir / cookbook. Which you don't get a lot of those.
You really don't.
But maybe more to follow. You mentioned Queens earlier. You put out an album, celebrating sort of the connection between Brooklyn and Queens. What? Tell me about your relationship with Queens and hip hop artists from Queens, because I think there's kind of a lot to dig into there.
Yeah, I mean, when I first moved to Queens, this was back in like 2003, I guess. I actually linked up with Big Noid, who was part of, Mobb Deep crew.
Yep.
Met him at a barbershop, actually, in Astoria. And we had also met on Halftime Radio Show, which is a radio show I used to do for many years in New York. So we had met there. So, yeah, we connected, and I ended up producing for him. And that was kind of jump-started my whole producing career. So.
Right, yeah. And, I mean, did you ever have what was I don't I'm kind of losing track of the timeline here, but did you ever have any like running-ins to with the Mobb Deep guys in that period when you were producing for Big Noid as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like Noid would take me to Havoc Studio, and so I'd be in the studio with all those guys. And yeah, you know, it was always like they. I mean, I was always a huge Mobb Deep fan, a huge fan of just that Queen sound. You know,
Yeah.
really to me, that borough just has the best rappers. You know what I'm saying? Over time, if I had to choose a borough, I'd give it to Queens. So yeah, it's just, you know, that was just kind of a dream come true for me as a hip hop head, producer, DJ, to work with those guys. So,
Absolutely. So
yeah.
do you find when you were working that, do you find that like when you were working with Noid, were you trying to channel like sort of that like Queensbridge, like, you know, Mobb Deep sound, or did you feel like you kind of also were bringing your flavor into it as well?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I started out, like I think definitely like was the sounds that I was gravitating towards were definitely from that school of sound. You know, the Alchemist, the Havoc. You know, that gritty QB sound. And then over time, my sound I think evolved, and you know, but definitely I was heavily influenced by that Queen sound. You know, in the beginning.
Not a bad sound to be influenced by either. So that's good. All right, we're going to hop into our second question of the night. NERD is the collaborative project between the Neptunes, Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo, and this childhood friend of theirs. Is it Magoo, Shay, Slim Thug, or Roscoe P. Coltrane? We're covering all the bases here. You know, we're hitting different lanes.
Thinking about it's either B or D.
All right.
So I'm gonna go with somebody said B, so I'm gonna cheat and go with B.
No. We already established, Skizz. It is not cheating if you do that. So I have to reiterate there. He says B.
I was gonna
So
do B actually until that person said B. So we'll go with B on their recommendation.
all right.
Okay.
Don't let them down, audience. We'll see if you did or not.
Is the
It was B. It was Shay.
great.
Kind of a mysterious member of the group. Didn't do a lot. He's on the cover of their first album there. That's him.
Shut up.
Playing video games. Shout out to DJ Eclipse. He's calling you out as a cheater. I feel like this is maybe you guys have to, you know, sort this out on your own, but we'll allow it, Clips. You know, I brought this up because you've done a lot of collaborative projects as well, especially recently. You put out, what, 3 collaborative projects in 2019?
Yep.
What is that like? I mean, I would think that that's probably preferable, right? Because you've done both sides of the things. You've done like the producer compilations where you've got like, you know, a bunch of like 14 or 15 artists on an album. Do you prefer one to the other, or do they both kind of have their merits?
They both have their merits, but I definitely, at this point, I definitely prefer working with one artist. You know, just less headaches. You know, less people you're having to count on. You know, and also you can really have a specific direction, a specific concept, and just have I don't know, just more of a collaborative process versus kind of having these different bits and then trying to put it all together at the end. It's easier to come up with something cohesive from the beginning, I think.
Yeah. So. And you sort of, you first really sort of making more of your headway as a DJ first for artists, and then transitioned into becoming a producer, and in some cases, like we said, working with artists. In what, like, do you think in what way does being a DJ sort of help in when you crossed over to being a producer? Like, did it kind of give you any advantage there, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think one, in terms of just like, I think like the technical aspect even with producing and you know, from just, I don't know, using gear and stuff like that, being like a gear head, and then just you know, I guess knowledge of music, just, you know, knowing music. I mean, I'm a sample based producer usually, so you know, I definitely dig into crates heavily. And that's something I did as a DJ, and I continue to do as a producer. So that was like a natural evolution in that respect.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And certainly a path that, you know, many dope producers are DJs or started as DJs as well. So it's a time-honored path, you could say.
No doubt. Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to the third question in our round. Here we go. The Firm was comprised of members Nas, Foxy Brown, Nature, and who else? Was it Jungle, Consequence, AZ, or Mary J. Blige?
AZ.
I mean, we should have known this based on your answer in the beginning, but, you know, we had to, we got to mix it up. AZ is correct. You think that, what do you think about The Firm as a group? Like, that is a weird project for a lot of people. There was a high expectation, and,
yeah.
you know, what were your thoughts when it came out, and now, you know, years later, has that changed at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a cool idea. You know, I don't know. It made sense at the time, I think. And they have some joints, but like, it's hard, I think, when you have that many different personalities and different sounds together to make something that just works. You know, sometimes it feels like it's kind of just thrown together because these are all like great individual artists. So it's kind of like thrown together, but they might not make the best collaborative records, you know? So
yeah. Is there in your mind, like, if I say dope supergroup or dope like one-off collaboration, who do you think like really knocked it out of the park in terms of, you know, groups or collabs for like an album or something? Like not a Gangstar, obviously Gangstar, like, you know, did it and,
like Def Squad, for example.
Right, sure, Def Squad.
Yeah, like I fuck with Def Squad. They put out, I like a lot of their they put out some good songs. They just came into my mind. I'm just trying to think of who else, another clique like that. I don't know. Terror Squad.
Yeah. Def Squad was kind of more natural as well because they were already all working together in certain respects anyways. Right. And I think that helps for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also just like the one producer mainly, you know, Eric Sermon.
Right. No, that makes sense. Chris Fader says Loot Pack. Yeah, Loot Pack was kind of a group though. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah. I don't know if that counts as like a super group, but maybe. I don't know. Random Acts says Teddy Ruxpin. Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin. Yep.
Yeah. Random Acts is one that like kind of gets forgotten about because all of the elements were like super dope. Terror Squad.
Wu-Tang Clan. Have you ever heard of them? They're cool.
Little known indie group from Staten Island called Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes.
All right, yeah. Good for everybody to weigh in. Oh shit, you even know their secret hand symbol that not a lot of people know about.
I do.
All right, we're gonna move on to the final question in this round. Here we go. Which of these producers has not contributed production on a Kanye West album? Is it Evidence, DJ Premier, Knots, or RZA? Who has not contributed production on a Kanye West album? You got to turn up the heat on you, man. We know you're a music head.
Damn. Okay, I know Ev has. I know that. And I know, you know, Barry Bonds. I know Nas. And I want to say it's Preem. But I also want to say it's RZA. Help from the
he's calling on help from his people.
Everybody, I got a premiere. Premiere.
Yeah, if you get I think you need 6 for it to be official.
RZA has. That's right. DJ Premier.
Okay, he's going DJ Premier. We'll do a little reveal here. I've got the songs queued up, so let's go. He's going with Premier, so we'll hear the other ones.
I just didn't want to
say it again.
I just didn't want to say Premier and him have done something and him get mad at me.
Right.
So that I had to make sure.
Yeah.
But
you're protecting your personal interest here. So yeah, as you said off the rip, Evidence was on the first album, College Dropout,
Right.
the final track. Then we had RZA on My Dark, Beautiful, Twisted Fantasy.
Right.
We out of here, baby.
So the answer is
Premiere.
Premiere. Obviously, Premiere actually was on the Graduation album, though. He did do the cuts on Everything I Am. You know, here we go again.
Right.
But not production. It's always like, I mean, I feel like Kanye has done a pretty good job at working with most of the greats, you know? But it was always like one of those things where, like, I remember being young and listening to like an Eminem and being like, why doesn't Eminem work with, you know, Pete Rock or something like that? So is there any, not Eminem specifically, but is there anybody for you that like there's a collaboration that you would love to see happen between an MC and a producer who maybe haven't worked yet?
Fuck. Oh man. Can you come back to me on that one? Let me think. I need to
Yeah, we're going to be hanging out for the next 40 minutes. So, I mean, we're
come back.
not only will I come back to you, I will stay with you through this challenging time.
Perfect.
All right. Well, we're going to move on while you think about that to the second round. And the second round is called Picasso, baby.
All right.
So in this round, I'm going to show you a small piece of an album cover. And you have to tell me what the album is by the little cropped image that you see. So doing good so far, 4 for 4.
Okay.
15 questions total in this game. So you're off to a strong start, Skizz.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Settle down. Let's not jinx it. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just stating what has happened. I'm not jinxing it. Nothing. The green screen is still there. We're in good shape.
We're good. We're good.
We're good so far. All right. First one. Here we go. Is this MOP's first family for life? Do or Dies, Picture This, EPMD, Back in Business, or Scarface, The Untouchable?
I'm gonna go with A. First family for life. That shit.
Yeah. MOP holds a special place in your heart, I've heard.
It does. They do. That's my people's. One of my favorite groups of all time, without a doubt. And Fame is like, he's a good friend of mine, always collaborating with him. So
yeah, you've done some work recently, even outside of just songs with him, right?
Yeah, we put out a sound kit, drum kit. It's called Heavy Artillery, and it features little Fame vocal cues, basically, that producers can use on their beats. You know, a lot of producers in the past have used MOP acapellas, like JD, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, we thought it'd be dope to give producers like some unreleased vocals they can use, as well as just drums that I have in the stash and other sounds and stuff like that. So
it's crazy because his voice is almost like a staple instrument, like you said, in hip hop. It's been used in so many ways. Like I never even thought of that. Like you could the selling point is like the drums and the MOP ad libs. Like that's crazy.
For real. It's crazy. Like Fame is an ill dude. I was just talking to my friend AKC, who's, I think he's in the chat.
All right.
We were talking about how Fame, like I'll be playing a beat and he'll do flows of like all different rappers, like from the past, but not actually saying the words, but just like humming. But he'll do like all these different flows. Like it's crazy. Like I gotta record that shit sometime. He's just like on another level. I think he's very as an MC.
Yeah, I feel like in a way MOP is like kind of underrated. I think that it's almost for like a wider, broader audience. They had such a huge hit, you know, that like I think a lot of people just see them as that, you know? Like right. I see somebody in the chat is saying that they need to recheck that album. What do you think as a diehard MOP fan? Like what's the starter kit? Like, all right, I think I know some of their songs, but like where do I start if I'm a person who hasn't like really dove into MOP?
Man, I mean, to me, I love the Warriors album, which is, you know, one of their more I guess, well, not really recent, but, you know, not one of their early albums, but I just love the Warriors. It's just like production on that. Premier was just on the top of his game. Like, obviously it had Cold as Ice, Annie Up, you know, the big hits as well. But that album is classic.
Absolutely. And they're one of those groups too where those are the big songs, but it's not like those aren't the big songs like, oh, these are like the singles. Like, no, those are hard as fuck.
Exactly. Everything is hard as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe don't get into MOP if you're looking for more sensitive, pensive, like go to sleep music. That would be my recommendation.
Very true. Very true.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next question in this round. What album is this? Is it Everlast, White Trash, Beautiful, Dice Raw, The Narrative, Your Old Droog, Pax, or Royce the 5'9", Success is Certain?
I'm gonna say C, Your Old Droog, Pax.
Pax is correct.
All right.
You worked with Droog kind of early in his career, on a few projects.
Yes, about 3 of them, I believe. Yeah.
What was it like? How did you first link with him? How did you connect with him in the first place?
So I connected with him through at the time I was doing halftime radio show, and a fellow radio host over on the Columbia station, Tim C, was working with him, or kind of like quasi managing Droog at the time. And you know, he knew I was doing beats, and so he just kind of connected us, and he ended up coming through the lab, and we recorded a couple songs, and we just had a good rapport and ended up working, you know. And I ended up DJing for him on tour and stuff like that for a while, so it's good.
Yeah. When you first heard Droog, for those who don't remember, there was like a lot of crazy sensationalism that was going on, and I'll even count myself as like one of the people. When I first heard it, I was like, is this like a Nas project? Because he had like a vocal tone that was very similar. Did you see that similarity at all, or when you heard it, were you always like, no, this is like a different thing?
You know, because I was like in the room with him, you know, and I knew what he looked like, so I didn't notice it like that. Like I knew he had a raw voice. Like I knew he had like a kind of a real New York gritty sound, which I thought was dope. You know, I'm a voice kind of person. Like as a listener, as a producer, like voice always is the first thing that gets me. And he had a dope voice, but I didn't really make that parallel, you know what I mean, immediately to the Nas thing until people started saying it, and I was like, oh shit, okay,
right.
I get it, you know? Yeah.
I would think definitely if you're hearing him for the first time and you're seeing the mouth that it's coming out of, that'll definitely separate it in that way.
Ukrainian kid, like it just, yeah. So for me, it wasn't. Yeah.
You didn't try to grab his face and like pull off a mask to see if it was not.
I never did that. But yeah.
It's never too late. You know, you don't know in the future. You might have the opportunity. I'm not advising you to. I'm just saying you could.
True.
All right, we're going to move on to the final question in this round. What album is this? Is it Talib Kweli's Eardrum, Jake One's White Van Music, Teray, Daily Conversation, or Big Sean, I Decided? Turning up the heat a little.
Man, I'm going to need some chat help on this one.
All right, but talk it through. What are your thoughts here?
I do see a white, it looks like a vehicle, but that doesn't look like Jake One's album cover. I don't think. I look. Okay. A, somebody's saying A. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. E's saying Jake. I don't know. Like the white vehicle, yes. I just don't, I'm not, the trees and that background is not coming to me.
Yeah, it's...
But everybody's saying B, so I'm going to go with y'all. B.
All right. I mean, this could be a cautionary tale about peer pressure, but...
It's true.
But we don't know. We're going to see in a second here.
All right.
Jake One, White Van Music.
All right. Good looking, y'all. Good look. You saved me.
You guys, you're looking out for your boy Skizz here. We're going to have Jake One on the show next week, so we're actually pretty excited. This is a little bit of a shameless self-plug, but are you a fan of Jake One's music?
Absolutely. Jake is one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Jake is I remember him coming to a halftime show years ago to do one of our anniversary shows. This was like in early 2000s, before he kind of was really getting in the mainstream, you know, placements and stuff like that. And he was just dope, man. He's always been super dope.
Top 3 Jake One beats. Go. Gun to your head.
Shit. Top 3. I was listening to this Superstition joint, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. I don't remember the name either, but I know what you're talking about.
It's fire. The joint with Jay and Rick Ross. I don't remember any titles, but
3 Kings, I want to say.
3
Yep.
King.
Yep.
And we'll say De La.
Rock Cocaine.
Rock Cocaine, yeah.
Yeah. Man, the Rock Cocaine is a crazy one, too.
Crazy.
And I'm sure you guys have all seen it, but the clip of them performing it on Carson Daly's Last Call live with Doom. Have you seen that?
I don't think so. I might have to look that up.
It's on YouTube. It's like, you know, I think MF Doom's only televised performance ever. And they're doing that song, and yeah, it's a killer. And I think De La still to this day closes their live sets with that song.
Absolutely. It's a great song. Classic.
Good one. All right, so you've made it through the second round, still maintaining your flawless score.
Thanks.
Now, yeah, doing good. Round 3, digging in the crates.
Clip said,
What's that?
about that. Eclipse said Superstition Hate My Face. That's the name of that song.
Oh, I thought he was talking that like maybe Eclipse and Superstition had like some sort of beef or something. He was like, yo, that man hates my face. Like, why would he do that? Why would he? I was like,
damn, son.
Definitely possible, but that beat is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you for chiming in, Eclipse. We should have Eclipse on this show too. I feel like he'd be pretty great.
Absolutely should, yeah.
We'd have to ask Superstition first, because we have this thing where we reach out to random rappers every week and just get like a face approval. So we'll see what happens, but you know, I think it'll be fun.
Sounds good, yeah.
All right, so this is the sample round. We're going to dive in, and these are questions all about samples. So I'm going to ask you a question about a sample that I'll play, and then you have to answer it. So this, again, should be kind of in your wheelhouse, DJ, producer, but I don't want to jinx it. So, you know,
yeah,
we'll get into it. Here we go. Gary Bird's Soul Travelin' Part 1, the GBE, was sampled by Nas for this Illmatic song. I will play you the sample now. Is it New York State of Mind, It Ain't Hard to Tell, Halftime, or Life's a Bitch? I can play it again if you need me to.
Yeah, play it one more time.
All right.
I can know. That would be.
Say it again.
See Halftime.
He says Halftime. Definitely one of the, like, you know, there's like loop samples, and then there's like hook stabby kind of samples. Classic, obviously. I don't have to sell you on the importance of Nas. You've already shown your Queensbridge tattoo, figuratively speaking.
Never heard of him. Is he dope?
Huh?
Is he dope? I've never heard of him.
Oh no, he's do you like you know, like real like lyricists like Macklemore? Like if you're into that, you might also like this guy.
Okay. I'll check him out. Nasir? All right.
Nasir, yeah, you definitely want to check the later stuff first, and then like go back, because the old stuff he was just sort of figuring it out. By the way, guys, that's no shade to Macklemore. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the hugest, you know, #1 Macklemore fan, but I'm not trying to throw dirt on anybody's name here tonight.
All positive love in here, yeah.
All positive love. Halftime, we've talked about it a couple times already. You've referenced it. You being on the halftime show, the radio show, was obviously like a huge part of your whole identity. How long were you a part of that show?
Like about 16 years, I believe. It was like 15, 16 years. So it was a long time. I mean, every Wednesday night for about 15 years. 10:30 to 1 with Eclipse, who's in the chat, and Petey Cologne as well. And yeah, it was a dope experience. You know what I'm saying? Like so many great moments, so many artists that I met, and it definitely helped me transition to become a producer over time. So
I would imagine that like there were probably for a DJ and a producer of your stature at that time, and then being with it for 16 years, like you must have had a lot of pinch me moments where you're just like, oh my God, I'm like connecting with this artist. What was the first that sort of stands out in your mind? Like the first time you're like, oh shit, like this comes with the halftime, territory now.
as far as like producing for someone, you mean? Or just
No, I mean just even like,
or like
I assume you connected with a lot of people just like through doing the show, right?
yeah. I mean, I guess man, so many. I mean, I would say Masta Ace maybe would be one.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else? Fame, from MOP.
Obviously.
And all the Mob Deep guys, Noid and P and Have, those guys. And yeah, I mean, those are the ones that come to mind. But yeah, so many, man. Like we had every rapper known to man on the show, basically.
Right.
Kanye West to Eminem, Redman, RZA, like literally everybody. So a lot of pinch me moments for sure.
Absolutely. Shout out to Masta Ace. Steve Wonder points out, former guest of our show, Masta Ace.
Sean P, I can't forget.
Sean P.
Yeah.
Wow. You did it for 16 years. We've been doing the questions online for about almost a year, and I feel like I'm starting to lose my mind at points. Do you have any tips for longevity in the broadcast game? Different kind of broadcast, but
I mean, oh man, I don't know. I mean, it's a passion. You know what I'm saying? You just got to enjoy it. I think it comes down to enjoying it, doing something you love to do. And some shows might not be as good as others or more difficult. And but you love it. I don't know. Just do it if you love it. If you're not into it, don't do it.
I wish I had known that before. Because to be honest, I've never said this on a show. I'm not very fond of rap music, so it's this is kind of a hard thing for me every time.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, but you do know Nasir, that guy. You do know some artists that you're putting me on to, like the
yeah. No, I don't fuck with the artists, but I can tell you all about them. Like
okay.
It's like having a seafood allergy, but I know all the dishes that you can get at like a Japanese sushi restaurant. Like I'm not gonna partake, but I'm gonna point you in the right direction.
That's
but not for me. Yeah. Okay. Eclipse says everybody but Jay-Z. You guys never got Jay, huh?
No, bastard.
One that got away.
Yeah.
We know what side you guys were on in the Ether takeover beat.
I actually remember that. I remember when that happened and we played both of them back to back on the show. I remember.
Oh my God. That must have been electric. New York, like at that time, and those guys at that stage in their careers.
Yeah. I remember that show very vividly, actually. And I have a pretty poor long-term memory, but I do remember that show.
So what is the better song or diss track in your mind? Is it Ether or Takeover?
I'm trying to remember because I remember Eclipse actually asked all of us on the show who we thought. And I'm trying to remember who I said at the time. I want to say, I think I said Nas, but I don't know. I don't remember. Now I would say, man, I guess Nas. I'll give it to. We're talking all the Queen shit, so.
Consistency, yeah. I think for me, I think that in hindsight and now, I can say that Ether is the better diss, but I think in terms of like replayability, I think I'm more opting to go to Takeover.
Good point. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Steve Wonder also says Takeover better song, Ether better diss. Yeah, Steve and I, same page. It's like we run a show together. It's amazing.
Clips.
Clips is talking shit. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. Here we go. Now, this is sort of a chronological question. So which of these artists was the last to sample David McCollum's recording of David Axelrod's The Edge? So everybody has sampled this, but who was the last to sample it? So we will go into the sample now. We'll let it play out a little bit more.
My favorite version.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my favorite version might be D on this list here of these tracks.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Missing Links. My man Problems.
Yep.
I think that it's either A or B though. I'm gonna say I just don't know the A joint like that.
Got a lot of different answers in the chat, so I don't know how helpful they're going to be tonight.
I can't get one wrong. This is very stressful.
Well, listen, I have to tell you that only 2 people in the history of the game have ever gotten perfect scores. And when we get done, I'll let you know where you ranked in terms of who's been on before. But, you know, I'm like that parent who, like, it's like, hey, like, we want you to get straight A's, but, like, you can get a B. Like, you know, we'll still be proud of you.
We'll still treat you like a son. Yeah. Well, I really don't want to get one wrong. So, okay, he's saying A or C. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't remember the A joint. It's definitely not D. I know that.
Okay.
Can I call like a family member, or like do I have a phone call or anything like that? Or
do you have another phone that you can use that isn't the one that you're on right now?
Maybe, but that's quite a process.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it's A or B. A was 2006.
Steve says call Petey.
What was the A song? I'm looking at this chat. Somebody's gotta have some knowledge up in here.
I mean, people have a lot of knowledge. We just can't guarantee whether or not it's correct or not.
This is true. Okay. Do I have a countdown or anything?
I mean, I think eventually if people start leaving this live, it'll probably tell you to, you know, wrap it up, B. But
all right. So I'm gonna say
I think you should go with your gut. We've done 80-something episodes of this. Normally when people go with their gut, it helps. I'm gonna feel like a terrible human being if you go with your gut and you're wrong. But
I'm gonna go with A.
Okay, he's gonna go with A. And we're going to play through in order. So here we go. We've got a very knowledgeable audience here. So first up, we have... A lot of people don't know this. Missing Links flipped it first. We've done variations on this question before where we trick some people where they think that, you know, Dre used it first.
Right.
Dre did it most popularly, and he was the second to use it. It's the moment of truth here.
Go Ace. Let's go, Ace. Come through for me.
If I never recorded another song, if I was wrong, and nothing I spit it was ever strong.
Bronze Nazareth was the last in 2006.
Right.
Also a great sample that there are like 2 such distinct parts that could be flipped and sort of done in many different ways, you know?
Right.
Are there samples that you, like, do you ever, or have you ever sort of touched the joints that have been flipped famously and tried to do your own spin on it?
Yeah. Recently, or like, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I messed with the like Bob James Nautilus joint. Wait, was it Nautilus? Yeah, I think it was Nautilus. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's fun, man. Like, it's fun to try to create something new, you know, something that just is different, and just, but using those same main elements, you know. So it's fun to do once in a while, but I do like rather find really rare, obscure shit, you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I get that. All right, we're going to move on to the last question in our third round. The title track from the movie Whiplash was sampled by this Bay Area artist for his 2001 indie rap single. So I will play you the title track from Whiplash. Was it The Grouch, Casual, Lyrics Born, or Rasco?
Yikes.
I'll play the sample again.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. That's B, Casual.
That's B. Not only is it Casual, but it is a pretty early Alchemist production. I got to get down. A slapper that I feel like, listen, I know that people, when they're thinking about Hyro and Casual, they're probably thinking of the earlier stuff. But
right.
That, I remember I saw Hieroglyphics probably around the time that this song came out live. And when the beat dropped, you know those moments when you just feel your face like melting off? Like, I just was like, what is this? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, Al just knows, man, his ear for samples is the best, literally. I don't think there's anybody that has a better ear, you know, over time, consistently, you know. Crazy.
Not only that, but Al, who we may be referring to in a couple of months as Grammy, rap album of the year winning Al. Do you think that okay, so this is a tough one for you. This is harder than any trivia question that I've asked you so far. We've got a couple of albums in contention for best rap album. One is your boy Nas from Queens with King's Disease, and then the other is Alfredo, and we know that you love Alchemist. So who do you think will take the title? Or one of the others?
What were the other ones? I forget. It was those two.
It is Royce the 5'9".
Royce.
D Smoke, Black Habits, and J Electronica, A Written Testimony. And I think that's it. I want to say that's it.
I think that I would vote for Alchemist. But I actually think D Smoke, which I actually also like as well, but I think D Smoke is gonna win.
Wow. Okay.
Which is, I think he has a dope record too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But the Alchemist joint is crazy. So
it's one of like the rare years of memory that I can think of where it's like I wouldn't be mad if any of these won. You know, like 'cause sometimes we've had like categories where it's like there's a couple that you think should win, but then it's like, oh, but we know that this one will win. But I kind of feel like with all of these, they all could win, and they all, like, I wouldn't be mad at any of them if they did win.
Yeah. The only one I wouldn't be like, J Elect joint, I was not really into that record like that. I love J Elect, but that particular record, to me, it doesn't stand with those other ones. But that's just my own personal.
Totally. There's no wrong answer there. I think for my taste as well, I don't think that Nas album is like the penultimate, like the official Nas album. I think if anything, and I think somebody else mentioned it in the chat, it might be one of those where it's like, hey, we overlooked you for a long time. It's sort of like the like olive branch award.
Yeah, I absolutely think so. Yeah, you're right.
All right. Well,
yeah.
We're going to move into the final round. You've made it so far flawless, but this is where we turn up the heat big time. Final round is called Time's Up.
All right.
It is our speed round.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. You're going to have 90 seconds to answer 5 non-multiple choice questions in the category of your choosing. So these are the categories tonight. Say word, which is all about the word. Milk, it does a body good. Or because you are episode 87, all about 1987. So you pick your category, and that is what we will do the final round for. I'm happy to answer any questions you have before you make that decision.
Shit. All right. Well, let's go with say word. Yeah, let's do say word. Say
okay,
word.
he's going to say word. So I'm pulling up these questions here. So as I said, you will have 90 seconds to answer 5 questions in the say word category. If you don't know the answer, you can say pass and we'll come back to it. But if you answer incorrectly, that question is done. You can't answer it anymore.
Gotcha.
As always, you can use the chat. The chat has been pretty helpful, but again, there's a little bit of a delay. Just be aware of that. And
Yep.
finally, I have OC's classic Time's Up here, and it is time to 90 seconds. So when we stop hearing OC, your time will be up. DJ Skizz, are you ready to do this?
Yes. So there's how many questions?
5 questions, 90
right.
seconds.
Let's
So
go.
he's going with say word. I've got it pulled up here. 90 seconds on the clock. DJ Skizz, help him out, chat, if you guys know the answer. Let's do this. Complete this Biggie lyric. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Salt and Pepper, Heavy D up in the limousine.
That is correct. Okay, on which album did A Tribe Called Quest release the song Wordplay?
You cut out. Hello?
On which album did A Tribe Called Quest release the song Wordplay?
Pass.
All right, we'll pass. In the late 90s and early 2000s, lyricist lounge rapper Wordsworth was in a duo with this MC.
Punchline.
Punchline is correct. Okay. Name 2 of the singles on Ludacris's 2000 album, Word of Mouth.
Move Biatch.
That is correct.
Help me out, y'all. Where you at, chat room?
All right, we'll go back to this.
Yep.
Gangstar has 2 songs in their catalog where the title contains the word words. Name one of them.
Words I Manifest.
Words I Manifest is correct. We're going to go back. What Tribe album had the song Wordplay on it?
Beats Rhymes. Beats and Rhymes.
Rhymes of Life is correct. And finally, can you give me one more song from Ludacris's Word of Mouth album? Ooh. Our time.
Time's Up? Saturdays?
You got it in right at the... I think I got to give it to you. I'm going to total up your score here.
Southern Hospitality. Yeah, that's right.
No, Southern Hospitality was not correct. That was an earlier. That was the first one, the Back for the First Time.
Okay.
Let me just read you the. Well, I think you got them all, really. Area Codes, Saturday, and Rollout were the singles.
That's right.
Other than Move Bitch from Word of Mouth. And Words I Manifest and Words from the Nutcracker we also would have accepted from Gangstar. So I totaled up your score. This has only happened twice before in the history of the show.
All right.
You have gotten all 15 correct. You are a champion in our eyes, DJ Skizz.
I appreciate it. That's a beautiful feeling.
This is who you are in company with. This is an elite group. There's only 2 people.
Okay.
One of them is Headcrack, the
Okay.
broadcaster, producer, MC, and the other is Mr. Len from Company Flow.
That's the Len. All right.
So you're kind of in great company here.
Absolutely.
When I tell you, again, we've done 80-something episodes, and only 3 people have gotten perfect scores. So
that's great, man. I feel good about that.
fate smiles upon you. So I have a question for you, one final one. And then if you guys have questions for Skizz, if we have some time here, maybe we'll do a little questions from the chat. Skizz, now that you've been on the show, who do you nominate to be on the show?
I nominate a guy by the name of DJ Eclipse.
Don't like his face. Somebody else.
Okay.
Somebody
Okay.
else. No, Eclipse is good. Eclipse would be great.
Yeah, no, I think he would be great for the show. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can give you more. Do you want more recommendations?
Sure, give me a couple more. Why not?
My man Marco Polo, the producer.
Marco Polo.
He would be good for this. Shit, Lil Fame from MOP. Maybe get him to do it. That'd be hilarious. Trying to think who else.
I mean, if you're going for extra credit now, I have to tell you, you can't get more than 15 points. I appreciate all this, but like,
and you know, they would be dope on the show. I would watch.
Yeah,
those are a couple people. My man AKC in the chat, PD Cologne.
AKC, PD Cologne. Yep.
I could send you a whole list of recommendations if you
Absolutely. I appreciate too that you mentioned people that you like could reasonably get in contact with, because we've had people before on the show, and when I asked them this, they're like, Jay-Z. I was like, yeah, that'd be great, but like,
he didn't come on halftime. He's not coming. I don't know.
That would be the ultimate stunt if we got him and halftime didn't, but I don't feel confident about that yet. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Skizz, do you have some time? Can we take some questions from the chat? All right, guys, drop them in the box. I see a few are in there already, so let's see what we got. Okay, this is a very broad one from Absolute Insight. They ask, what's the best memory that changed your life in the game? This is like super broad. I don't even know if there's an answer to this, but do you have a memory about your experience in the game that like changed your life?
And it's a lot of them.
I feel like you probably talked about a lot of them already.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the first time I connected with Noid, for example, you know, that really kind of started my production, you know, being serious about the production. So, you know, meeting him, connecting with him, also just joining the radio show, you know, joining halftime show, was definitely memorable.
Yeah.
Those will come to mind. Yeah.
I mean, we will accept those answers. You're no longer in the right or wrong zone. I want you to take that. You got straight A's, son. We're going to take you out for ice cream tonight.
Cool.
All right. Here we go. Let's see what else we have here. Steve Wonder, our very own Steve Wonder, asks, how did you link with Vel the Wonder, and can you send me those pleasure stems? We don't take requests, Steve. This is just a Q&A.
I linked with her. I actually met her at a show. Actually, you know what? I think it was the show that my man House Shoes put together. It was right when Prodigy passed, and at what's the name of that spot in LA? I forget the name of the spot, but he had like just a get together, and we were DJing. I think yeah, there's a bunch of DJs. Anyway, she was there, and we spoke. She had heard one of the albums that I did around that time with the Villains from Brooklyn called Cat Dice, and she was so yeah, and then we ended up just connecting from there and doing a song. So
amazing.
Might have some stuff in the works too.
Nice. We're gonna work on getting you those stems, Steve, as well. It's in the cards.
Oh yeah. Also, I'll get her. Yeah, he said, can you link you to get her on the show? And yes, I can absolutely do that.
We have a tradition on our show that if you score a perfect score, you become the booking agent for our show. So this worked out well. We've got it all handled. Go on vacation. Okay, here's a production question, super niche. What BPM do you find yourself making beats to? Is there an answer to this?
I mean, I'll tell you what. I definitely am always about the decimals. I don't like.
Ooh, yeah, you're one of those producers. I hate when they send me the stems and it's like a fraction, right?
I'm like very anti whole numbers. I've always been that way. So, you know, even when you go to the hospital or something, they ask you what's your pain level, I always give them like a decimal number, never a whole number. So, I'll say like 82.3.
82.3. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and these days, it used to be a little more up-tempo, I guess. These days, I'm in the 82.3 range.
I feel like ever since Dilla, he had one song on like Fantastic Volume 1 or something where he was like, I usually rock at 92 beat PM. And like for the longest time, that was always like, I must always start at 92 BPMs.
Right, right.
I was a young influenced kid, not influential. Charlemont asks, what part of Boston are you from?
Brookline, Alston area. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's familiar. Well, maybe he is.
Yeah, I think, yeah, she
Yeah.
is. We have some people. I've never been to Boston in my life. So tell me, what is that? Like, what part of Boston is
The
that?
lazy boy who I think was in the chat, who I went to high school with, actually. I don't know if he's still in the chat. It's just like, it's right by Fenway Park, basically. Like if you were at Fenway Park with a Red Sox play, it's like you can walk there, basically.
Got it.
Yeah.
Paper Mario, I think, is calling you Math God in the
That's
chat,
my
which
That's the
if
mark.
if you haven't used that as a drop or a song title, it's not too late. That might be something.
Nah, my whole like music company is God of Math. Like, shouts to Marco Polo. He kind of bestowed that nickname, and yeah, and my lab is called the Math Lab. So
Is this because of the decimal thing, or what is the root of that?
no, I actually taught math for a while.
Ah,
Yeah,
what age group?
I taught they were like 12 years old, 11, 12. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's mathematics. It's all mathematics.
Different mathematics, you gotta love us.
Yeah.
Okay, Charlemont says that her cousin lives on Mass Ave.
Okay, no doubt. I know.
But does your cousin live on Math Ave? Is the question that I have. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Skizz, thank you so much. This was so fun. We really appreciate you taking the time. What do you have coming up that people can check for?
I have just a beat tape coming up pretty soon. I'm working on finishing up. And that's probably the most upcoming thing. And then I have other projects with some rappers, but I don't want to talk too much about it at this point because wait till they're kind of close. But yeah, trying to put out a lot of material though this year.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely look forward to that. Thank you again. Shout out, follow DJ Skizz. Check out, what's your website? It's DJ Skizz Beats.
Yep, DJ Skizz Beats. All the socials at DJ Skizz or DJ Skizz Beats. And I appreciate it, man. It was a good time.
No problem. Thank you. Official booking agent of the show, DJ Skizz. Recognize him when you see him in the streets.
That's right.
Throw those math equations up at him, but don't throw a protractor or maybe a calculator. I don't know. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Skizz, thank you. Peace.
Peace.